And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome back to Automation, the car company Tycoon game. All right, so let's get rolling, shall we? 18.7 mpg? Oh, ow, that's terrible. What about the base model? $18.3? That's horrendous. It's more sporty, though. Alright, so we're going to work on a new trim today. This is based on the LE trim, of course. And that's because it's going to be the LE6 Sport. Not Sprint, Sport. Alright, we're going to keep the red, the fire engine red. We're going to keep it a transverse four-wheel drive. However, we're going to add another grille. Alright, more grill, more better. Right. We're going to add another grill. We're going to paste the grill in right there. We're going to make the grill bigger. Yay, okay, that's going to be the V6 grill. That's it. Right, and we're going to make another change back here, too. Oh, hey, look, we don't have any exhausts on this one. Let's go for a dual pipe exhaust back here. Boom. There we go. All right. We can go forward. Now, engine. We're going to do a V6. That's right. We have V6 engines now. And we're going to go up. Yeah, okay, I figured you'd yell at me at some point. We're going to go with a 92. Let's see what a 92 square ends up looking like. All right, 92 by 92. So this is going to be a 3.6... Yeah, let's call it a 3.6 liter engine. So this engine type is going to be the 85, right? And it's going to be a 6V. Haha. It's going to be a 6V22. Aluminum. All right. So it's a 6V22, DOHC, 5-valve, with an aluminum head, and no VVL because it hasn't been invented yet. Haha. We're going to move forward. And we're going to go with a forged steel. And we're going to go with, let's do I-beam steel and forged pistons on this one. And we're going to keep it up at the full power here. So we're going to say this is going to be the 3.6 CA0. Perfect. All right. I probably should start my timer. All right, we'll keep everything as is here. We're going to have to tweak all of this, of course. Naturally aspirated, carbureted, 4-barrel, twin carbs, standard intake, spin it up for regular. You know what? They can shell out for premium. All right, we're going to go with a long tubular with dual exhaust pack and a 3-way cat with a reverse throw, flow, and a straight through. Okay, quality, we'll boost that a little bit. And it's probably going to explode the first time we run this thing. My ears, they hurt. My ears, they hurt. Okay, so this is a more expensive version. So we have 95 to play with here. So I'm going to try and not touch this whole fuel mixture thing over here. So let's play around a little bit, shall we? Now, if this is a sport, we might want to try and give it a performance intake. Give me a bit more power there. And what about DCOE here? Yeah, okay. So that gave me better performance, but emissions went way sideways. Okay, yeah, emissions, okay. Airflow low, emissions very high, emissions very, very low, very high. Now, we can't really inject it. That's going to be a pain in the neck. So we're going to have to keep it as is. But I don't really want to play too much with my ignition timing. Also, we can probably get some more power out of her. Okay, so, oops. 6,000 RPM, we're capping out there. Let's go 6,100. Ooh, we're losing. Interesting. Oh, because we're already at the top. Okay. So advancing our ignition timing isn't getting us much. Oh, it's giving us more torque. Okay. Alright, so it's boosting our torque curve earlier in our engine cycle. That's what that does. Okay, so let's back this off just a little bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give it some overpower there. We're still on that, we're still on that. Alright, so let's take a look at this. So how much more of this can I give her? And then we can... reduces... Alright, so... if I go up a bit more in compression, and then give myself a bit more of this stuff... Oop, engine knock. There we go. Okay, so we're looking at about 256 horsepower out of this engine. That isn't bad, actually. Nah, the emissions isn't that bad either. Alright, so let's take a look at our final detail stats here, and let's run her up again. Hold your ears. Heyo. Okay, so we're looking pretty good, alright? Performance index at 179. That's not too shabby. Let's try dropping this in, shall we? Manual, single clutch, 5 ratio. Top speed is 156 miles per hour. Once again, validating our concept of putting... yeah, we'll do a geared LSD. Of putting the biggest engine in the smallest car we can possibly get our hands on. Alright, let's zip ahead here. Alright, let's go Sports Compound Road. 195s both ways. That would only help if I was using a rear-wheel drive. With alloy rims, we'll go with that. This design. Give it good quality. Alright, vented dual piston. Vented single piston. Race them all the way up. Alright, so let's go with about a 70. And let's go with about a 70. Give it a bit more quality. Alright, we're going to go with a full cladding. We want a lot of brake airflow there. Required cooling is only 124. So let's give it a bit more cooling than she necessarily needs. And we'll go with a 4-seat. Let's see. A sport interior with premium power steering. Advanced safety, however, because that's standard on all of our cars. We want sportiness. That's best for sportiness. Sport, gas twin tube. Sway bars passive. Sport suspension off the bat. And detail stats. Okay, sportiness is up to 29. Let's see. What's causing sportiness to go down? Understeer, oversteer. Hey, okay. Oh, right. Okay, so... nope. You guys don't like that at all. This you like, though. Ah, look at that. Alright, that gave me a lot better there. And we can do some more over here, too. Let's get that camber going, shall we? And like that. Spring stiffness. Yeah, that's going up a bit too far now, isn't it? Let's do that. How about this? Nope, you don't like that either. Damper stiffness. That's... so we'll go up to 30 on both. Okay. Sway bar, maybe? No. Yeah, and ride height isn't going to have that much more of an effect, is it? Alright, a little bit of a higher ride than I expected. Alright, so detail stats. Sportiness, okay. Brake pad type and quality. Brake fade, we're still having issues with brake fade, okay. Somehow I'm not surprised by that overly much. Actually, if I drop to a single piston... and then we increase our rear braking power a bit. Hey, we got rid of the brake fade entirely. Look at that. Okay. So that's good. Brake fade's gone. Brake quality, brake type, engine sound. You guys don't like the engine sound. Let's go back to the engine then. Probably too quiet, so let's go with a twin straight-through design. And that did some weird things. Okay, so let's go back to trim. Detail stat. Engine sounds better. You like the torque curve. You guys like that a lot. You like dynamic response. Downforce you don't like. There's no downforce on it. You like the braking distance. Alright, what else can we do? Engine. You don't like the engine. You don't like the driver assist. I don't know what I can tell you guys. Alright, so we'll take the driver assists off. How about that? Driver assist just came off. What do you think now? You like it more. Great. What don't you like about the engine? The engine's great. What don't you like? Oh, it's a V6. You want a V8? It's a two-door. You're not going to get a V8 in a two-door. What do you want from me? Tire profile. What do you mean tire? You don't like the tire profile? Picky, picky, picky. That, okay? That's your tire profile for you. Okay, now you like it more, but you don't like the understeer, oversteer, so we have to fix that elsewhere. Okay, great. More camber. Less camber? Is it less camber? Is that how you do this? Yeah, more camber, less camber. Push that way up there. Get it going. Get it silly crazy. That's as much camber as I can give you. All right, that's literally as much outside camber as I can give you. That's as close as you're gonna get. All right. So, what if I just did a little bit of difference on the tire profile there? There. Okay. Now you guys are happier. Great. Okay, how about that? That looks like it's perfect to me. All right. Detail stats. Let me guess. You don't like the tire profile. Yeah, you don't like the tire profile. Ha, ha, ha. Gear ratios. Okay. Wheel spin. Oh, that's some wheel spin, all right. Yeah, okay. So that's an issue. That's an issue. Yeah, you'd think with the amount of wheel spin decrease that I'm doing right now. Oh, because it's my torque profile is so high at the startup. Right, okay. Yeah, that explains that all right. Yeah, this car will happily sit there and spin tire all day long for you. Like, what if I even went to semi-slicks? Would that help at all? Yeah, not that much. Not that much at all. What happens if I go up in my wheel diameter? You guys don't like that. If I go up like this? Wait, what if I... hold on for a couple seconds here. What if we go up to 20s? Yeah, that doesn't really help much, does it? Alright. So, if we go back down... Alright, so they like that. They like that profile a lot. Interesting. Alright, so I'm pretty certain I've now screwed this up beyond all repair. Because I just kind of clicked numbers and saw what was happening. Huh. Alright, so if I drop this, there's a sweet spot around here somewhere. Trust me, there's a sweet spot around here somewhere. I just need to find it again. Okay. So I'm at 15s. Huh. Hold on. How do I do this? Oh, I had it there for a couple minutes. Alright, so standard wheel diameter. Okay, so you guys don't like that. What if I do that? Alright, so you don't like that, you don't like that, you don't like that. Okay. Even though... This makes no sense, because I swear it's putting it in completely different positions based on where I'm clicking on what day. It's because we're at 14s now. If I go up to 15s... Yeah, okay, but watch. If I'm at 16s, and I go down to 15s. Huh? But if I go down to 15s, and down to 14s, and then back up, it's a completely different profile. Watch. Alright, we're 43.6, right? So we go up, and we go down. Eh? But if I go down, and then I go up, I'm at 43.6. But if I go down, and then back up again, I have 43.6. What is going on? Because it seems to be different depending on what button I click where. So if I go up to 16s, down to 15s, back up to 60s, if I go up to 16s and then down again, it's completely different. See what I'm talking about, guys? Oh, because it's changing my tire width at the same time. Aha. Aha, ha, 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 ha. Because if I go down to this, and then I go up, this is just 165. If I go up to this, I can't change it beyond... Interesting. Okay. Now, I still don't know what minimum profile means. I wish I knew what minimum profile meant. Right, because now see I'm at 195s across the board, and if I increase this, it doesn't do much. If I decrease this... But I don't understand. I don't get what this is doing. Okay, that looks like it's good. All right, 42 point whatever. All right, that's fine. Whatever. I don't even know what this is trying to do here. I don't understand the tire profile thing. I don't get it at all. I don't understand what it's talking about. Alright, let's look back here. Detail stats. It doesn't like the roll angle. That's fine. Sportiness. Engine sounds a little bit better. Let's go back to engine and see if we can make it sound better to them, I guess. Let's go with no first muffler and no secondary muffler because we don't need eardrums. Yep, we definitely don't need eardrums. Alright, engine sound. You guys like the engine sound now. You like the height. Roll angle isn't an issue. Brake pads are great. Chassis stiffness. I don't know what I can do for you about that, guys. I'm sorry. It's the chassis. I can't do much about it. Tire profile and downforce, whatever. Downforce, minus 0.7. Minus 0.7 down the downforce. I can't really add much downforce to this thing, guys. Well, actually, hold on. Let's go back to model. Oh, right. Oops, let's go back one, and let's put a... Well, I may be able to add one here. Hold on. Let's do this. That's a dumb place to put it. Yeah, that doesn't look stupid. Yeah, there's just no good place to put one, really. Alright, so let's go back to... trim. Yeah, detail stats went down. That's fine. So let's put some... there we go. Wing angle. All the downforce on the rear end. Yeah, I don't even know what that'll do. Yeah, because there's no front downforce on this thing. So it's fully clad. Let's see what that actually did anywhere in specifics. Okay, anything specifically that did? Didn't do anything for grip, that's for certain. Yeah, that's fine. Tire information? Braking information. Yeah, well, okay. Oh yeah, so it kind of belled that out a little bit. Alright. Front tires. Okay, higher speed, more force on the front tires. I can't go much... Oh, I can. Yes. Because the faster I'm going, the more force there is on those. So it actually might be worth it coming up to a 2-piston design. And I can really shrink these. Get a bit more there. Okay, a bit more back there. There we go. All right, that's a little bit better. Look at this. All right, so we have much more balanced ratio now because I actually have some, downforce going on here. The other thing we want to do is let's go back to the trim, because I'm realizing then that means that a lip may not be the most terrible thing to put on this car. There we go. Alright, so we'll go to aerodynamics, and... So with no front downforce, we have... Yeah, okay. And then with all of the downforce at the front, that gives us some more oomph. We lose some miles per hour, though. So let's see where our break-even spot is. Alright, so that gives us some good downforce in the front, at least. Yeah, because if we set it to 50, watch, alright, 50, 50, there we go. So we really don't have much downforce there, but if we go like this... 60 on the front downforce, okay. But we don't really have a downforce undercarriage design. Oh, we do, look at this, okay. So we're aiming for about 145 even. There we go. Which means we can go over here. So how are our brakes looking now? All right. Hey, we can put some more braking on the front. Oops, those are my rears. We can put some more brake power on the front here. Watch. Ha-ha! Not that it helped much, actually. Interesting. But we do have a situation where our front brakes are much more powerful than our tires through most of our braking curve, up until we're at actually very high speeds, oddly enough. But I think that has something to do with our downforce, to be perfectly honest. But we're not looking too bad, actually. So let's look at our information here. Detail stats, torque curve, they like that. They like the engine sound. They like the they don't like the understeer here. They don't like the engine either. I don't know why they don't like the engine. But chassis stiffness they don't like either. So that's something to keep in mind. We need a better chassis type, basically. They also don't like the gear ratios, but they can kind of suck an egg over the gear ratios. Oh, because the top speed's way too high. Okay, hold on. 150. Spacing, give it a little bit more spacing, maybe. Okay, fine. Give it less spacing. Do you like less spacing? Is that what you're looking for? Yeah, but it's really not worth changing it overly much. Alright, so that's fine. Yeah, okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. So let's look at our detail stats now. Miles per gallon, 20.6. Well, it's better. That's one of those, well, it's better moments. Sportiness is actually pretty high. That's nice to see. It's pricier, that's for certain. So let's save her out, and let's go back, and now we can look at our model information. So LA6 Sport is heavier. Not as drivable, that's for certain. Sportiness is much higher. Production units are higher. And the cost is also much higher than the other two. but it is a sports car. It is a, well, rather, it is a Sport E car. All right, Sport E car. That's fine. All right, anyways, guys, this has been Mr. Kassarian. I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I will see you in the next episode, hopefully with a new model. See ya.